My intention here with the universe, with the all, is that everybody who needs this message will be brought to them. Okay? So, and today we do have the sun from this oracle deck. I think it's the energy oracle. And I mixed that up with the wisdom of the oracle. And we also have mending in reverse. I'm getting, first of all, the phrase new horizons, new horizons. So I feel like there is a, a creative approach, a new creative approach to um, like mending a situation, but not trying to fix anything. I think I talk about that a lot, but not trying to fix it, but allowing it to be mended through this creative approach. So thinking outside of the box, thinking about the new ways that you could go about something. So if you have a relationship that has been having some chaos and conflict, then what is your approach right now? Have you been trying to convince the other person of of something, of maybe that you're right, or maybe that things don't have to be this way, or like maybe this person says something to upset you, and you realize later it wasn't that big of a deal, um, and so whatever your normal habitual approach is to resolving these issues, it needs a fresh perspective, and I don't think you're going to really have to try that hard to get it, because this was the first card that came out and it's the number one card, so it's pretty much the most powerful energy here. You I feel like the sun is really shining a very bright light onto what it is that is needed in this situation, and you're not going to be able to miss it. We also have fork in the road. So also in verse, right. Again, it's like this choice. There's not going to be much of a choice, but it's a good thing. It's like you don't have any indecision here. You're going to be able to just see this problem, and be like mindful of it. Try to be a little objective. Try to kind of surrender and see what comes up. And what's going to come up is going to be very obvious. Very like, okay, well, that's what I'll do. And try. The only thing is, don't allow yourself to fall into doubt about it, because the doubt, there is this trickster sort of energy at this moment, and there's a whole story behind it, but I actually recorded another video explaining it, and there was a very big sign that the video is not supposed to come out right now. So I will just say that there is a kind of trickster sort of energy that is on its way out of Earth as a whole, Earth's kind of energy. So it's gonna kind of create some final like trickster things for the collective, and so you are just encouraged to follow your light, follow your your compass, because that is your heart, right? That you need to fall into your heart in order to find that. I mean, definitely I and most of us, we live up here, and we got to fall down here when we want to find these solutions and actually implement them as well. So being too in your mental space will definitely allow this trickster energy to come in, because it loves to pose as this logical energy when it's no more logical than anything else. It's quite irrational, actually, but it isn't you. And that's another message that I got. This Not everything is your fault. Okay, I know you feel like there's a lot of things we are responsible for, and that's okay. That's life, that's human, but we are really asked to not just shift the blame. That's not There's no purpose to that either, but to just allow it to be released, allow the blame to go away, because it's not helping anything right now. This is so much easier said than done, because we have a lifetime of experiencing like ourselves really being blamed for things. By the way, I'll explain this in a second. Being blamed for things, and then being stuck in that blame and just assuming that everything is our fault, everything is our responsibility. But there's especially one situation, I think, or maybe even several, that kind of mirror each other, that where you are really putting all this blame onto yourself. And it's just not it's just not like, it's again this trickster energy. It's just not the case. Like, you really are not responsible for this. You didn't do anything. You did your best. And not only that, but your best was actually like really good. It was way beyond what you used to do. And it's not to say that in the past you were bad or wrong, but now you have really evolved. And these situations that you're facing now are you're handling them to your best ability, and you're following your heart. And still problems crop up and you feel like, okay, well, maybe I did that wrong. Maybe the way I followed my heart was not right. Maybe the openness that I showed was not right. But no. And it's not to say that another person, if this is a person like a interpersonal situation, it's not to say that they were wrong either. Okay, it's and I do feel like there's this misunderstanding energy here. But regardless, the way you approached this was really, really good. And spirit really wants you to, like, not the opposite of being blameful of yourself, but actually congratulate yourself for how you did this. Because in the past you would not have handled this as skillfully as you did. Okay, you have really, really shown how much you've grown, how much skill you've acquired, and how many things you've decided to allow to just be released. And still life responds in a way that seems to it still seems to not be enough. But you are enough. What you did was enough. And even if there is something better that you could have done, it's you at that moment, at this in this recent juncture, could not have done any better. And you did actually, what you did was perfect. What you did was exactly right. And the blame that you have is part of this lesson. It's part of this justice energy that I was about to talk about. Because, okay, today I and yesterday I kept seeing the justice card, and the way she was staring at me was really getting under my skin. Like, I was starting to freak out and panic a little bit. So justice has a sword on it, does it not? Yes, the sword of justice is sharp, very sharp. And it can cut you. Um, but justice is often about corrective situations, about energy that is there to correct things in your favor. And so today I was cleaning, which I really needed to do, and I reached into a box in my closet, which I wasn't looking at what was in the box. I was trying to find a universal plug. And yeah, there was a ceramic knife in there that was not sheathed, and it cut my finger pretty badly, actually. That's why I have this thing on it. You are free to make fun of this. This is so ridiculous looking. But I had to go to the pharmacy and get, like, I asked for first aid kit. They didn't give it to me. They just didn't. They didn't know what that was. I guess I think they did, but I don't know why. They wanted to give me these little, like, suture things, sticky sutures, useless on your hand because if it gets wet, it just comes off. So then I went back and they said, okay, well, you can just get some of these gloves and cut off the finger and put it over the sutures. So that's what I've done. So anyway, if you're feeling like maybe this situation that you've been in has cause you to blame yourself for however it was, whatever came after that. Maybe you feel stuck, especially because of that, this guilt and shame that you have over it. If you feel like the way you reacted, which actually was perfect, but that you judge as bad, if you feel like the way you reacted is going to bring you some kind of negative karma or whatever you want to call it, some energetic blowback. If you feel like something you've done further in the past is bringing you some energetic blowback, maybe some divine punishment or something. First of all, that's not how things work. But either way, that's not what's happening. So the justice energy might cut you a little bit, okay? But honestly, this, as much as it wasn't very pleasant, was such a relief because I was really starting to feel like I was about to get hit by a really serious, like, tower moment, um, for many reasons. But no, it was just a cut on my finger. Could have been so much worse. I mean, if I had just reached into the box a little bit uh, less gently, I would have had to go get stitches. So justice right now is coming up in a way that is going to be unexpectedly gentle. That doesn't mean it's going to be fun, but it's going to be very manageable. And it's actually, and it's putting, and I keep saying this, wax, like putting a cap on um, the end of a like tube or something of wax, and you're using wax, and it's just capping that, and it's over, it's completed, and there's some kind of karmic coil that has finally been undone, and it's going to seem very insignificant, the way that this karma, which really are lessons that we carry from life to life to life until we reach samsara, which is like the end of the death and rebirth cycle. Um, this this little insignificant action will result in the release of this karmic cord, um, that you've been wrapped in. And that's not to say there's not a bunch more left. There's probably a lot more left, but for this particular lesson, karma, justice is just going to nip you a little bit, but it is not going to be a disaster. And that's really what this lesson for me today was, because it was such a loud message, and then it turned about, okay, I just cut my finger. Yep, that's all. That's all. Sometimes these things that seem very significant when we sense them are very much not so. It's just that spirit's voice is just as loud when it talks about something. Uh, I mean, okay, not always, but it's often the same volume for little things and big things. When it's very, very big things, yes, you're gonna get a bigger, a bigger like kind of message. Um, and again, there's that energy of like a thought creeping in, intuitive thought creeping in, and then it being ripped away, and it's that trickster energy. Now I realize, if you watched my other video the other day, I was talking about this, and it is that trickster energy that is kind of, is like on this last leg, and it really wanted to make a kind of a negative difference in this world, and it did a little bit, but it wasn't what it wanted, because it just can't. It has a lot more power than we realize that we feel like some entities could have. But the way it works, which is by proxy, it's a whole thing. Um, just it just didn't have the effect it wanted. So yeah, these messages that you might be getting, these guilt and shame and blame and these feelings like you deserve some kind of punishment, are part of that. And it's like kicking and screaming and being like, okay, well, I'm going to show you. But that's the limit. So if, for the people whose eyes are closed still, who still are not very awake at all, and this is not a judgment on them, and this is definitely not to make anybody superior, because it's just not the case, but those who just are not there yet on their journey as you are, and that maybe I am, they might experience a more serious, a grander sort of justice experience, because they just don't know enough about how this energy works. Even intuitively, they don't, because they're still very close to it. So your intuition and your subconscious mind are handling things for you right now that you don't even know about. Like, and it really is for a good reason, because it would be overwhelming for us to always have to deal with these energies and kind of balance them, and like kind of envision these strings of energy and kind of playing a violin or something, and just they just need to be just right. Your subconscious mind handles that much better than your conscious mind would. And that's another thing, like you're okay, I just I got a very big like chill there in my legs actually. So grounding right now is going to be very important. Grounding that energy of shame and blame, and grounding that energy of conflict, and also lack. And by the way, with this financial constraints in reverse, what it says to me is that a lot of these financial constraints that myself and you maybe have been experiencing, and if that's not your story, then maybe like some kind of other sort of lack. This is again also closing, and it's going to close because of this justice energy that is trying to correct something. And while it does that in a little bit of a sharp way, it's it is really for the best. It's really, really for the best, and it's really helping us in the long term. And again, these insignificant little things that seem like they have nothing to do with life, they are energetic. They are the universe's way of expressing these things in a gentle way, because it knows that right now is not the time for you to experience a serious hard lesson. And it can do that for us that are a little bit more awake, because our subconscious minds are much more open and attuned to these energies and these strings of energy that we are able to balance and harmonize. Okay. So, and then I got Archangel Metatron's sixth chakra. So this is your third eye. Okay. So I'm getting also the sacral, because your third eye and your sacral are very, I mean, they're all connected, but they're very connected in a way, because we always think of our intuition as being our gut, right? And maybe it's a little different because there's instinct and intuition, but I am getting that the connection between them is important right now. So trusting your gut, but also allowing your intuition to guide it. Like not just trusting your base instincts, but also allowing this divine connection to guide it as well is very important. And that's going to show up in so many different ways for everybody. So, what else does the collective need to know, please, Spirit? Ooh, your angels are here. Like here, as in with you and with me here now. Um, just saying that you were very protected, and that's part of the reason. Okay, there's so many different aspects and complexities to these kind of energetic issues that are being sorted out right now. But they're saying that part of the reason why these energies are ending in such a soft and gentle way, when they're screaming at you beforehand that this is going to be a shit show, is that they're helping you and protecting you, and you've asked them, and they're granting your request. And especially, oh gosh, Metatron, I forgot that. Yeah, and also Metatron definitely has some things to do with money, and he definitely is somebody you can call on to help you with money, with abundance. So yeah, I would, if that's something that you need to know now, then that's something you need to know. Three of Cups, Three of Emotions. Okay, I do feel like there's this thing about a friend coming to you with a story. Yeah, maybe not right away, but it's like in the next few days to few weeks, maybe months, there's going to be an important story. It's not going to be about you, but it's going to be again a kind of karmic lesson that you're going to be learning very gently, because it's going to be, you're going to learn it through the story of a friend that they're through a story your friend is going to tell you. Right. Oops. And maybe you're going to want to, maybe you're not going to feel very much like you want to hear the story right now, but it's worth it. It's worth listening. because it's going to really help you in a way. And again, it might be kind of a subconscious process. Um, hmm. She goes, okay, and it there is this kind of maybe warning about don't close your eyes to this. Keep your eyes open about this. Like, don't let it pass you by, because there is something. There's just a lesson that you are going to learn, and it's going to be so easy to learn because it's not going to be your experience. It's going to be somebody else's experience. And I do feel like this experience has to do with a love situation that your friend has been in for a long time, and maybe it's the love situation is ending. Justice, it flew out. Yeah, this love situation is ending because of some, everybody makes mistakes within relationships. So mistakes that have been made, and fine, and I feel like this situation has been needing to end for a long time, but it has been very inspirational to you as a love story, sort of, or just an example of how a love can endure. And it's not to say that this love isn't going to endure. They're going to still love each other for a long time, but this story, the, uh, these threads are finally coming unraveled, all these stories, and they're coming together in a very like neat way. And anyway, this is a story you're going to want to hear. So and I don't know why that has to do with money, but it will somehow end up bringing you some kind of opportunity, even if it is, again, like an energetic thing that trickles over to something else in your life. Because, okay, there was this thing I got while doing some automatic writing about how the earth has been violated quite a bit, and we all know what, in many different ways, and how this, instead of just like causing huge destructive events, immediately, it starts on the individual level and causes some problems on the individual level, and then on the community, and then on the societal, and then on the species. And we're seeing that in a lot of regions of the world. And anyways, it's just like we are experiencing not just the karma of our own um, souls, but of the collective soul and of the earth's soul. And the earth is really, really trying to reach out to us right now, and have us manifest as a collective, um, a better future, a better present. And it we and on the individual level, we don't have that kind of control. But if we can even just begin to start being unified in what our vision is of the future, even just on a small number of people, these things that are happening in the world that feel very heavy and full of doom will subside. They will subside, and we can manifest that, but we cannot do it on the individual level. We really need each other. And all that means, sorry, is that we just need to envision what we want the future of this earth to be like, and that is just with peace, and healing the earth itself and the trauma that it has experienced through human, you know proliferation. I keep hearing that word. And money, like, and greed, human greed, basically. Okay, so I that was such a strange, like, string of stories. Again, it's just this energy is very like, it's very kind of complex and all over the place. And again, spirit is definitely saying, like, this is complex because we're trying to help you make it simple. Simplifying things, making it more simple, will make your life more simple. Um, so take that as it resonates. Any final messages for the collective, please? More angels, second chakra. Okay, we just talked about that again. These two chakras, I can't make this shit up. So doing some clearing of these chakras would be good. Listen, maybe if you like those singing bowls, doing a second chakra and a sixth chakra singing bowl, like just sitting there and just listening to it for a few minutes. For each one would be good, and also envisioning a connection between them, envisioning a very defined connection between them, a line between them, so that whatever this is that's going to come up, where your instinct might need the help of your intuition and need to be unified a little bit, it will be easy for you in the future. Okay, then also serendipity. Something is going to come up very, oh wow, okay. Something very good is coming to you, and it's going to be very just wow, that's awesome. Just good news is coming to you, and it's going to come in the form of something that you really wouldn't expect it. There's this unexpected energy again, like lots of unexpected things that are trying to show you that what is unexpected, what is unknown, is not always to be feared, because a lot of the unexpected things that happen, even when they feel like they're not super pleasant right at the beginning, are actually super good and will quickly show themselves to be something good, including some things where your fear has been embodied in a way by a person or a situation, but when it comes around, it actually comes up as a blessing, and it completely makes this trigger, this fear, this phobia go away. Like it integrates it, and dissolves it, and it turns it into something that you no longer have a negative association with. And whatever you're thinking about, that's what it is about. And it's just you would never think that this would happen, or that it's possible, or it just wouldn't come up. Thinker. I think this was in the reverse. Don't overthink this. Don't allow your analytical mind to get in the way of this. That is one thing that could block these blessings, but I don't feel like they're going to. I just think that you're not going to have the time to think about it too much. But yeah, just practice grounding, practice being in your heart space. Peace. Peace is coming for you. Darling, peace is coming for you. And these blessings have been coming up all tied up. Okay, all tied up. That's number 5 as well. 23. Oh, they're both 23. They're both 23. So that to me, holy crap. Okay. Again, that thing that you feel is like a phobia, a fear, a trigger. It's coming up, and and the way it comes up is like showing you that it's no longer something that you need to be afraid of, and your whole being is just accepting that. It's just saying, oh, okay, no more, I don't need this anymore, and you're letting it go. You're releasing yourself from it, and it's so simple. It's so simple. You will not need to think about it. You will not need to do anything but just allow it. And you are asked to surrender to it, but even that is just going to come so naturally to you. Wow. 23, 23. So the number 23 could be important. 5, 5 could be important. 44 could be important with thinker. 48, angel of balance. See, again, this is justice energy, but in a very positive way. Past lives are coming up again. I had a very interesting experience watching a reading today with, well, 2 different readers who are actually married. Hello to them. Who, and one of them was talking about a past life, and I have had a few inklings of my past lives before, but never very, very detailed or deep. Like I didn't have much of a concept of it. But the other day during meditation, it came up very strongly, and literally exactly what I saw in the meditation was mentioned. in the reading that I was watching today. So past lives are coming up, and the reason they're coming up is because it's showing you that these, I think, the fears that you might have in this life from experiences that you had in this life, they weren't just started in this life. It was like, again, it's this karmic cycle, it's this karmic cord, and it's coming undone. And it's like, so because it's been a pattern in your past lives, when this comes undone, and it's going to be so easy and gentle and just like, oh, how am I can't believe I'm free. I never even realized I was you know tied up by this. It's going to be such relief. It's going to be such a freaking relief. And you're not even going to realize, like, maybe you will, but some of you might not even put two and two together until later, and you just are feeling this relief, and you're just experiencing it, and you're not overthinking it, and you're not trying to think about it, and it's just like you're just enjoying it, and that's great. Do that. But and then later you'll be like, holy crap. Okay. And if you already have some knowledge of your past lives, then I would say whatever the first vision of that you have, whether it be good or difficult or whatever, is probably, that's what it has to do with. So some of you had a past life in Atlantis. I did. I know I did, but I have no idea about that. I just have that fact. But some of you know about your past in Atlantis. Some of you might have even feel triggered by that. That's going to be released for you. Yeah. And if you are interested in Atlantis, I know I mention her all the time, but I just, the content is so spectacular and so useful. Elunia, on her membership, she has a video talking about the how Atlantis came to an end, and it is so mind blowing, and some of you might be interested in this once this karmic kind of coil comes undone. Final messages, please. Again, the thinking man, I feel like it was kind of in reverse. This is 46, that was 48. Even numbers. Something about even numbers, whatever that means to you. I feel like there's a lot of things coming up for that. So yeah, final messages. Somebody's thinking about you very strongly. Okay, yeah, this is a different message, but somebody's thinking about you very strongly, and they really want to connect with you. And I feel like they're a little blocked by their situation right now in order from doing that. But they do want to connect with you, and if you are wondering if somebody wants to connect with you, then the answer is yes. You don't need to pursue it very strongly right now, because they've got to go through whatever they're going through. But if it's meant to be, if it's something you really want, whether it be friendship or something else, and it could be just like a business relationship or just a friendship, but whatever it may be, this will come around for you. Because if you desire it and they desire it, and they are kind of coming to the conclusion that something in their life is not what they want it to be, then it's going to be. It's you are these. This is somebody who you've known in a past life, and that's the reason why they are coming up for you now, and it's such a strange situation to you, because maybe it's about this blame situation at the beginning. Like, you don't know why they would react in a way that actually is pleasantly surprising to you, um, and also why your emotions are so out of, all over the place with it. It's because this is part of this karmic cycle, karmic cord. The lovers, I can't really show it all. Okay. Yeah, it's almost like you're contracted to meet them. The King of Wands. Wait, yeah, Wands. hmm, they're opening you up to a lot of creativity and to again, creative ways um, to resolve situations and to move on, maybe even internally. It's like you're seeing them do it. Maybe you're not even seeing them outwardly do it, but you you sense that it's happening within them. You sense this change that's happening within them. They might even be hiding that, and but you sense it, and it's not something bad. It's a good change. It's an evolution, and somehow that it's inspiring you to to go through the same kind of process in a way, but it's a very different situation, but in the same kind of positive kind of growth that they are going through, you're going through too, or you're going to go through too, because your soul is just attracted to that. Nine of Cups, yes. Wow, wish fulfillment here. We have the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Cups. So yeah, there's just so many resolutions. The main message you should get from this is that resolution is coming to you. Okay, and you are so worthy of it. You are so perfect in every single way. And I know you probably don't believe it right now, but you're going to start seeing that. And you're just asked to be open to it and not overthink anything, not feel like you're being arrogant. Just seeing how you bless others by your very presence, because you do. And you are other people's wish fulfillment. And you have more power than you think. I mean, serious spiritual gifts. And we'll talk about that in another video, but there's a lot of, I won't say strange, there's a lot of very unique spiritual gifts that you would never really expect to be a thing. They are. So be open to those gifts, and you might even come into a point where you start to be able to use them very consciously, very and very with a lot of talent. So I thank you for watching this almost 40-minute long video. I hope you got something from it. Please make sure to like, subscribe. Every time you interact with my videos, these videos become more relevant to you, because you are really integrating your energy into the collective, and letting my subconscious mind know that you are there, and you are part of it, part of this collective, part of the people who need these messages. So I'm so glad that you got these messages that you needed to hear. And just remember what I said, that you are so worthy, so special, and that's why I love you. Thank you.